Thank you, Gregorio, and thank you for putting such a good panel together. I think that the topic, China on the Rise, is extremely timely. I think everybody is aware, and you yourself, Gregorio, talked about how the impact that China is having on the world of football, which, quite frankly, is completely different to anything that we've seen before. So I really look forward to getting into the topic. And if I could start with Fuxiu An. Why has the Chinese government created a strategy around football?
Okay. I'm very honored to be invited here because of the recommendation of este. And the Chinese government gave the big aim to improve sport industry. Chinese government think it's very huge opportunity to improve sport industry, and reported the document sport industry in 2014. It's the first time I reported the document, sport document by the State Council. So it's very important. And then the government think it's very our sport industry is only 1.063% of GDP, less than so many development countries. Maybe is 3 or 2 or 3% of GDP of sport industry. So our government think that is a huge gap. So our government aim is from now 200 billion euro to five times at that number after 10 years. So that is a big aim, and that is a huge chance. And the government think our Chinese people don't like sport. So government encourage people to participate in sport and cause people's more healthy, better healthy. So and encourage the kids to participate in sport. And that is and others, the football is very the largest in the world. Our government think it's also in China is the largest in the industry. Football and of course, our president Xi Jinping is really like football. Yeah, so it's very large chance and opportunity to improve football and the sport industry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, if I may, China Media Capital, I think we've probably all heard of it. Not probably familiar with exactly what it is, what it does. Could you enlighten us, please?
So I would like to take this opportunity to share with all the audiences who is China Media Capital. China Media Capital is China's most prominent investment and operation platform that focuses on media, entertainment, and the sports industry. CMC has built and cultivated many leading companies in film, news, sports, television, animation, entertainment, music, live studios, etc. So high-profile investment of China Media Capital include IMAX China. That's a joint venture between CMC and IMAX, the American leading movie technology provider. Also include Flagship Entertainment. Flagship Entertainment is a joint venture between China Media Capital and the leading Hollywood studio Warner Brothers, so which produce the audios and videos in China. Also, we have worked with DreamWorks to establish Oriental DreamWorks, who co-produced Kung Fu Panda 3 and Kung Fu Panda 2, which is very popular worldwide. And I think most of us are familiar with CMC because we are investment in the sports sector. So the most prominent one is City Football Group. We are a minority shareholder in City Football Group, which includes Manchester City, Melbourne City, New York City, and Yokohama. Also, we are the controlling shareholder of China Sports Media. China Sports Media is the largest media rights agency in China, who holds the media rights of Chinese Super League, Chinese FA Cup, as well as the Chinese national team. Also, China Sports Media is the media partner of Bundesliga in China for a long time. The other investment in sport is Sika, which is a leading sport marketing company in China that is very strong in athlete representation and event marketing field. Also, we have investment in CubeE, which is a leading sports big data company in China. In addition, we are also investors of Soccer World, who is a leading football stadium operator in China. And that's some of our portfolio companies in the sports field.
And can I just ask if, as part of your business or the government strategy for sport, which Fuxiu An just told us about, is that driving your activity, or are you totally independent? Are you profit-driven? What is it?
Well, basically, as a PE fund and a holding company, the main target of the company is to make profit. So everything we did, we bear this in mind. But also, it's very important, I think, in any country and all over the world, that you tie your destiny with your country. So if your country prosper, your own business will be prosperous. So that's also our strategy. But just for example, many people are curious that why China Media Capital invested in City Football Group, because many people say it's really very expensive. You can use this price to buy 100% stakes in any European clubs. So that's true. But we do see the different side of the City Football Group, because it's a global market, it's a global platform. So we can't see any football club or any football group that owns 4 clubs all over the world. But CFG is doing so. Also, they are very strong in the youth development. I'm so amazed when I visited Etihad campus, the youth training academy in Manchester. It's a fabulous project, and I believe in the future, many future superstars will come from the Etihad campus. So, and that's why we invested in City Football Group, that we can replicate the City Football campus in China to allow the Chinese youngsters to accept the most advanced training in China. Yeah.
Thank you. Robert, first of all, thank you for agreeing to speak in English.
Pleasure. I will try.
It simplifies matters, at least for me. Chief Executive of Espanyol, you have Chinese owners. Many in the room will understand that, many won't. Can you tell us how that came about and what that has meant?
Yeah. A lot of people ask why a Chinese company invests in Spain in a club as Espanyol. being headquarters far away, and the owner is living in China, already in Guangzhou. And people say, why in Espanyol, why in such far away country and city? And it's easy, you always say that there are 3 reasons why. Of course, one is, as mentioned before, in China now, football is a sports strategy for the country. They like to build a lot of schools, academies, football academies, all over the country. They are focusing all the strategies, companies, government, in improve soccer. On the other hand, football is a business. I go to, sometimes in a conference, I always note about the football club. I always talk about the football company. If we understand that this is a football company, and all football companies need to be profits, need to develop, and to have more clients, then we understand that we need to manage as a company. The owner has 33 companies, plus Espanyol. Espanyol is the first company out of Asia. And it's a company, if you imagine when we talk about a football company, if you imagine a sector of the industry that you have 75 million currently in Espanyol of revenues, in a sector that you never can lose money in the period, because it's everything controlled by La Liga, the fair play, economic fair play, then you know you cannot lose money. Of course, you have some debts you need to achieve and solve it. And also that you know that 80% of your revenues already you have signed and you received during the period. And you know exactly your revenues before you start the period. Then it's a perfect sector, a perfect business. And also football with China. Of course, in China, we talk about, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 1,300 population. From this, we know that currently heavy supporters of football is 300 million. And it means, in a business, heavy consumers, heavy clients, it means money. At the end, that's money. And also in Spain. And in the city of Barcelona, he loves football. And then, for this price and for the project we have, the internationalizations of the club, we have planned as a business a 5-year plan where we are financially with the social, in social terms, and in sport terms, of course, because the core business is a ball that runs every Sunday in the ground. And we like to internationalize the club because we think, as a business, it's a perfect business. A business that can be very profitable. I always say, if you like to invest in a football club, don't do it, never, because it's not profitable. If you like to invest in a football club, then do it because it's very profitable. And that's what the Raster Group, the current owner and president of Espanyol, did.
I find that fascinating. It's the first time I've heard somebody call football a perfect business. And going on from that, the difference that you've experienced, if any, being managed, being owned by Chinese as opposed to being Spanish, have you identified any differences?
Of course, there are some differences, cultural differences, but at the end, we are in a global world. We move in a global world, then we manage companies, multinational companies, global companies, and it's how we do. When we started to work, a lot of media asked us, how do you manage with China? Because the president lives in China, in Guangzhou. He comes every 2 months, 2.5 months, 1 week. That week is the week that you are 24 hours reporting. But we are in a permanent contact with them through video conference, through conference calls. And people say, and how it can be managed? Because if we think about the football club, it's very presidential. The president should be there, should take decisions in front of the media. If we talk about football company, like Coca-Cola or any company, global company, ABM, people are in New York, people are in London, people are in Beijing, and they make a video conference, they make a board of directors meetings, and one person is in a different country. That's better or worse decisions? The same. If you make the decisions can be right or not. Being everybody in presence in the meeting room or everybody in one different country. Then at the end, if we manage as a company, we can do. On the other hand, it has some advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is here runs like a company, the company number 34. Then there is a plan, there is a running, there is an objective you must do. Then you can run the club, the company club, as you must, like another companies. The disadvantage is that probably far away, you don't feel what's going on in the day-to-day or in the match day or with the team. But it's easy to work. They allowed us to move. He's very informed. We do a permanently daily conference to be informed about what we are doing. But he knows that there is a team staff team in Barcelona that can manage it, reporting everything, and he allowed us to do.
In which language do you talk to each other?
In which language? We talk in Spanish. He speaks in Chinese, and there is one person that one of the board members that also is with me in the management team that translate everything. I just started Chinese classes, and I think in 35 years I will be able to speak Chinese.
And does that work okay, or does it produce difficulties?
Sorry?
Does that work okay, or sometimes is it difficult?
That works perfectly,
okay.
Because at the end, of course, it takes more time, because it needs translations in the middle. But after, from 19th of January, it was the official takeover of the club, but we were working for a previous time, doing the project, preparing what we like to be Espanyol in the next years. We know each other quite well, and it's easy to work, really easy to work.
Okay, thank you. Fuxiu An, why do you think so many Chinese investors are buying European football clubs?
A Chinese company invested. Thank you. That is a good question. Chinese company invested the football clubs overseas. I think that there are several reasons. The first reason, I think, because our Chinese sport industry, Chinese sport company is small. So it's small, yeah. It's not a big company to M&D. Yeah, M&A, yeah. So that is, this is the first reason. The second reason, as Chinese sport companies' PE are higher than other business. So that is second reason. And also the Chinese sport industry, Chinese sport companies' PE are higher than other countries So this is the third reason. We think that Europe is a good place to invest because of the crisis and renminbi. We think renminbi is we are going to fall. So so many companies to invent the other countries, especially football clubs in Europe, and the fourth reasons. We think the Chinese sport company not only take more money from the over clubs, but also we want to learn from the management systems of clubs, and of the events and games. And we want to learn from the training systems for our kids. So I think this is a very important theme. The investment by the football clubs to improve our kids and to improve our football clubs, to improve our football players. That is the real reason. So not only for money, I think so. And we buy the football club, and then we take this system to China to improve our football, and we in China, Chinese companies hope to make a contribution to develop football in the world, because our football is not good. So yes, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Not good yet, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes, not good yet. But maybe in the future we be better and better. Yeah.
I'm sure. Eric, in the future, and please don't divulge any trade secrets, where do you see China Media Capital investing? What sort of activities are going to be interesting you?
Well, I would say football, basketball, and the fighting sports are the areas we are most interested in, because football is the world's most popular sport. Also, it's the most watched sport in China. Although the results on the field is not so good, and basketball is also very popular in China. We all see the popularity of NBA in China because of Yao Ming, because of the stars Kobe Bryant and LeBron James are household names in China. Also, our domestic league, Chinese Basketball League, is very, very popular. And fighting sports, in China, traditionally, wushu, fighting, kung fu is very deeply rooted in people's mind. So we see these areas with a big fan base and with the big potential. But also, as we analyze the market, we need to admit that the sports company and the sports industry in China is still in the development process. It's not as mature as European or as in the US. So some of the international sports famous companies are also our target. For example, I didn't mention that actually China Media Capital is also a minority shareholder in Infront. So we are co-investor with Wanda in this deal, and we still play this kind of role in the future.
And when you are either buying or planning to buy companies and assets, are you planning short-term, medium-term, long-term? What's your view?
Well, actually, we have two investment vehicles. One is China Media Capital Fund. So it's a purely financial platform. So we normally it's short-term investment. When we get the financial return, we exit. The other vehicle is China Media Capital Holdings. So the holdings company is a long-term plan. We choose those companies that has a strategic value with us and has a synergy in China. We invest in this kind of companies, and we stay with long-term with these companies. We grow with them, we help them, we bring them resources, and when they are bigger enough, maybe we can go listed in the stock market together so we can enjoy the benefit also.
Sure. And Robert, sitting there in Espanyol, do you feel that the planning that you're now doing for the owner is short-term, or is it a very long-term focus? I think it was Rick Parry sitting here this morning said, short-term in football is a week, long-term's a month. What's the Chinese view in your experience?
Long term in football is next match weekend, but then it means that he comes for long term. Of course, it's a sports business. It's another company of business entertainment. He comes to be a lot of years for a long term, as any company you create or any company you take over. Yeah? It's not just to be in the football industry, in the sports industry, and say, okay, I buy a team in the mind of our president. That's one more company of the group, and as the other companies of the group, it should take a long term. Already we organize a business plan for the next 5 years, what we like to be the club in 5 years, in order to achieve the next step of the club, the company development, and then go for the other 5. This company should be in the group for long term, for a lot of years, and achieve the plan of the internationalization and the business development of the company.
Is that a different way of working to when the previous owners had Espanyol?
No, I think also with the previous owners, they focus in company. Like we cannot understand in the modern football a football club without a company club. Then you can never arrive at the end of the way or of the plan you create. It's of course it could be more focused on business, the current owner, but because he's not part of the club for the history of the club. The previous owner were members of the club, supporters when they were young. They were the owners of the club and president for the last 20 years, very involved. He's more now the current owner. Mr. Chen thinks more in business, in football, of course, because he loves football, but with some distance and with the mentality to sit, think, relax, and take decisions.
Why did the previous owners sell?
Why? The previous owner sold, of course, it was he thought was 2 owners, Daniel Sánchez Libre, Ramón Condal, partners with the majority of shares, with 54%, the group of owners. The rest of the shares were distributed in 12,000 shareholders, supporters of the club that had some shares. They sold because they thought it was the end of the period. The family of them didn't follow football and the business as they like it. Also, it was a time that it was a lot of years fighting for the development of the club, for paying the debts, etc. And they decided that it was time to stop and give some new energy and the club to a new owner.
And how did the fans take to the new ownership?
The fans accept. It was surprising also for the owner, for the president, Chen, because it was very well accepted. He was very worried about arriving to a new country, buying one sports club, and say what people will say, how people will accept a foreign person that arrived, that is not part of the history of the club. And it was really welcome. A lot of people sold the shares to him, not only the main. One of the things, when he arrived, he said that he was able to buy the shares for the main shareholders with the agreed price, but in order not to be only with them, and in order to allow the rest of small shareholders with 1 share, 10 shares, 100 shares, he said that he paid to them also the same price as the main shareholders, that he arrived to be there for a long term. The first thing we did is to explain the project. We went to China, we explained the project in China for investors of Rastar Group, because it's in the stock market sense. And we explained to the shareholders here in different meetings and conferences what's the project, why a new property come, why a Chinese president comes to be the president and the owner with more than 99% of the club, and what was the plan and what we like to be. We explain that it's not we arrive and tomorrow we like to win the Champions League. That's not the way. But we explain what we like to do in 5 years. And at every year, where we like to be. People say, okay, but you have to wait the 5 years. It's a project. If you like this project, that's the person and the right person to be there. If you don't like this project, of course, it's not the right person. People say, yes, we like this project, we can wait, and we will be there.
Okay, thank you. Fuxiu An, what's the current climate of Chinese sport?
The
current climate of China sport?
correct.
Climate, the environment.
Environment, okay. The environment, the Chinese environment is very good because the government, the policy is very, the policy encourage, and according to our research, our football field is only 7,000 football field, but our aims is 10 times in 5 years. So it's it's big opportunities, and then our government report the document. We have to we will have the 20,000 football schools, but now only 5,000 schools. So we have the government gave the opportunity to develop football from to kids. So that is that the environment is very good. That this and then they very so many companies are developed from 2014 because government encouraged, and all of us think more health is more important. So people like to participate in sports. More and more people like, yeah. So the Chinese environment to invest sport industry is very, very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Eric, I'm really interested to know that as a company who's come relatively late into a very mature sport market in Europe, and with the benefit of thousands of years of Chinese wisdom and philosophy, have you found new ways of working? Have you found better ways of working? Are there things that you're bringing to the market that we've been missing for years?
I don't think so.
But so are you trying to catch up with other companies, or do you feel that you're ahead and you've got new products or new ways of working?
Well, I think in terms of sport, we need to admit that we are behind. We are following others, and we would to learn because we need to. We need to respect the nature. We need to respect the core of business. So why the industry scale of European sports and American sports is so large? There is a reason. Like Rick Perry shared this morning, that the success of EPL is that it's good it's good governance, which is really very important. When we see ourselves, when we see our leagues, why there are so many problems. Now you see we have the hot money, we have the world-class players, Lavezzi, Gervinho, we have the world-class coach, Marcelo Lippi, Eriksson, but we are still not playing so good because you need some time, you need to learn from others. And that's the reason why we invested in City Football Group, because we think their know-how, their player development, their campus program, their commercial capability is of significant value to us, for us to learn, for us to copy it in China, to help China to promote their level internationally. And
do you see your future football investments to be in clubs or to be in other aspects of football?
I think I prefer to say in other fields because, you know, as Robert also said, well, Robert thinks that club is a profitable business, but well, there are some profitable cases, but in many cases, you are losing money. Maybe you can recoup your income, you can recoup your investment in other ways, but basically, it's a big chance you lose money. But for other industries, like see sports marketing, like if you invest in a media rights agency, is quite profitable at the moment. If you invest in an event management company, it's highly possible that you make a profit. If you invest in the e-commerce sports industry, if you invest in a youth training facility or youth training projects, it's a bigger chance that you get profit. And I think that the main thing, the most important thing for our business is that we get a profit because it's business, it's not charity.
And do you see the Chinese purchase of football clubs in Europe continuing? Do you think there's going to be a lot more?
Well, personally, I'm not sure about the trends, but I know there are many football clubs are coming to China, are coming to Chinese investors. It's a joke that every day you receive a new offer from a European club on your table. You can't differentiate each one sometimes.
Yeah. And is the future investment, is that determined by the strength of the Chinese economy? Mm-hmm. I mean, if there's a downturn, will that mean that the tap's turned off?
Well, I think in some degree it all depends on the economy. We see that like 20 or 25 years ago, Japan is very strong internationally, and they invest in other fields, including sport. Many world famous players play in the J League, and you also see the same trend in China now. Many world leading players play in Chinese league. So it really depends on the economy. But I think that the most special thing of China sport industry is that we have the population, we have the fan base, so it gives you lots of room of imagination. For example, if there is a European club, your fan base is say 20 million, it's a lot. Or maybe say the population of one country is 20 million. But the population of Beijing is 20 million, and the population of one province in China is even 100 million. So if you can have such a large fan base and you have the economy as the backup, so there is always opportunities that people will pay attention to sport, people will consume sport. So that's why so many Chinese companies are investing in sport. They are not investing now, they are investing in the future. They can see the trend, they have the belief in the future. So that's why they are doing now, including us.
Thank you, Eric. Well, as we come to the end, I thought I'd just leave it to Robert to say, would you recommend to other football clubs to be owned by the Chinese?
Yes, I will recommend, of course.
On that note, I think we should wrap up. I'd like to say great thanks to Fuxiu An,
Pleasure.
to Robert, and to Eric. And please give them a round of applause.
Thanks.